Gregory Mitchell. I am the Senior Director of Brand Management and Marketing for Power Rangers at Bandai America. Yeah, I think that in the past we've maybe made some figures too muscular, almost like Masters of the Universe in level of obnoxious layers of muscles. And other times we've put out more slender ones that you might see like the fig arts. And I think where we net out somewhere in the middle, because the American, US, North American action figure market, there's that perceived level of musculature and heroic body type and frame that's important to make an action figure look cool. Personally, I like the SH fig arts for their slenderness because they're very show accurate to the actors that wore those suits back in the day. But as a collector of multiple different kind of figure brands on my own too, besides Power Rangers, I also get the value and heroic stature of a figure when they got a little bit more musculature. Great examples like Spider-Man. Typically, whether it's cartoon, whether it's any of the movies that Sony's done in the last 10 years, Spider-Man's a slender guy. But when he's suited up in the movie, and especially as you saw like in first the Toy Biz and then eventually the Hasbro figures, they gave him more of a physique. And that tends to look more heroic on a kid's shelf or an adult collector's shelf. I think hence that's kind of like the mentality that we mostly have as manufacturers to make a more, fit-looking, muscular type of action figure. Now, granted, when they're on steroids and jacked up, you're right. I remember there was some old school pre-Legacy figures from like 5 or 6 years ago that Bandai did that were like crazy muscular, like an old heavy metal magazine cover. Those are a little much for my taste. I think the fans reacted well for that too, and we flexed back into a more middle range, so they're not as slender as fig arts, but they definitely have a little bit more of like a tough muscular body. Yeah, the cool thing about Power Rangers is we've always had girl heroes right there as part of the core team. We always had at least one, if not usually two, girls that are just as much a part of the team and in leadership roles of the team as the guys. That's the beautiful thing about Power Rangers. It's a team, it's not just about one particular hero. So we've always been proud to have girls as part of and not just part of, but leading the way on our team. We've always had the girl figures in our assortments. We think that with the recent positive change toward females being embraced as heroes in singular versions like you saw with Rey, even with bad gals like you're seeing with Harley in DC, we're super stoked that ladies and girls are being recognized by superhero fans and by toy companies like us. We're going to keep, if anything, we'll put more girls in our assortments because we think that that's the right thing to do. And between the cool new opportunities we have with Ninja Steel and even with the movie coming out, we're looking at all kinds of fun ways to get girls into our property and toy brand than ever before, but also give them more to get into than ever before. So keep your eyes and ears open. We're going to be working on that even more than we have been. Yeah, we love doing the Japanese import stuff, and you guys seem to be reacting well to it. I think just like in the earlier days of Legacy, the more you guys support the Japanese import stuff at Toys R Us and some of our other online retailers, the better chance there is for us to bring new ones in. Sometimes there's issues with importing or a certain item isn't available anymore, but we'll always look for the right ones and hopefully work with you guys to put the best ones out. And as long as that's a nice, sustainable thing of interest for you guys, we're into it too. Ranger Key blind packs is very interesting. That's a cool idea. We can talk about that. As far as how the 3-pack mentality was, I can't comment much about that. It's kind of history at this point. But what I liked is that you guys didn't want us to stop just because the calendar year is over and we didn't have every Ranger accounted for. So if anything, one thing I can comment on Ranger Keys is thank you for being loud and vocal and saying we want them all. Because not only did we hear you, but Toys R Us heard you, and that was super important because Toys R Us now saw that just because the show is not on TV anymore doesn't mean that they can't do well with the product, because they did great with that exclusive version of the Ranger Keys that no one else had after the season was over. If we missed any, let us know. If we missed any characters and didn't complete any teams, let us know, because as long as there's more to make, and I thought we got them all, but I listen to you guys. You guys know better than me. If we missed any, Toys R Us will certainly keep carrying them because they did really well for all of us. And the blind pack idea is very interesting. That's cool. You're talking about before I got here, which I hate pulling that lame excuse out, but I got here in 2013, so I'm not sure what the creative vision was initially for the Morpher versus how it actually ended up shipping into fans' hands. If that was a dream and aspiration and didn't come to fruition, I'm sure there was a good reason for it. It is a cool idea, and it might be something that we want to make sure we have in our pocket if we ever did do another, say, special edition of a Morpher ever again, if there was a good reason to. Yeah, the Power Coins, there's a very good chance that you guys will be pleased by some upcoming news that we have. So keep your eyes and ears open. We may not wait till New York Comic Con to talk about it. We might actually hit you up with some cool updates between now and then. But we have a very cool plan and vision for the coins that address not just the things that you just mentioned, but some other coin-related opportunities that would fit nicely with your Morphers. Because you've all gone out and got Morphers. We love that. And we also identified a while ago that, yeah, some coins have the dirty wash, some coins have the polished wash, but you don't have a complete set of both. Ninja, some other stuff that's in the fan canon. So, like I said, keep your eyes and ears open. There's going to be some cool coin news coming out. I like that idea. You're the second person to mention that today alone, so that means it's on your guys' minds. Again, that one came out I think it started shipping just as I got here, so I'm going to have to assume that if it didn't make it in there, it might have been for a reason. Sometimes when it comes to things like music, there are considerations that one has to do, and I'm not even sure if that's the case on this one, but just I've been working with toys for about 10 years or so, and I've had this experience in other brands and lines where there's music publishing involved, there's songwriting credits, sometimes the master file for the song just doesn't exist. Who knows? I wish I knew, but I didn't work on the item. I got here just as it was shipping. So it's something worth looking into, because if there's any other Green Ranger stuff to come out that we haven't done yet, and that could have a music song in it, it's something I'd want to look into for sure. No, we haven't talked about the movie Morpher in that way yet, but that's a good suggestion that I will bring to the team to see if there's any opportunity. If there's demand for that much different of a movie Morpher, we would certainly be open to it. That's really cool. I've never seen it before. It's really neat looking. Yeah, there's even the White Tiger Zord in there too. Yeah, I've never seen this before. It's neat. It's new to me though.
Yeah. Because then some of the Legacy Zords have that feature. The Dinosaurs combined with the Tiger Zord, but
right.
That's just a bad.
And it looks like their individual weapons are also integrated into the Megazord too. So you could fire a bow like Kimberly's weapon or a drill. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never seen it before.
Just think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's put it this way. When it comes to Zords, when it comes to roleplay items like a weapon or a Morpher, we've gone pretty sequential. With the introduction of the Legacy figure, that's given us much more flexibility to start dipping immediately into some other series. So while that's happening at the $20, you can get it everywhere at mass retail levels, so you can collect all your favorite Ranger teams as figures. Keep watching the Zords, Megazords, and the roleplay stuff, because you're right, we're getting kind of toward the end of Mighty Morphin there. That's all been sequential so far, and naturally there's a lot of interest in moving into the next series, which of course will be Zeo. So keep your eyes and ears open for that, because you're going to start seeing some I guess, almost the end of Mighty Morphin when it comes to the items that you guys have already purchased, like morphers and like weapons and like Megazords. So if we keep going sequential there, you could probably think about, okay, what will be the next one? What are they going to do next? Whereas the figures, we're going to keep you guessing, but as you saw right away, it's not just all about Mighty Morphin. They're in the first assortments because they should be, because they're, you know, the arguably greatest series of all time of any property. But as you see, we're already getting other legacy teams in there, so stay tuned. That's an interesting question. It's come up a couple times, but not often enough, so take this opportunity to shout if you think this is actually a good idea. So to have a legacy quality and style version of a current series TV morpher in addition to an old school legacy one, that'd be interesting. If there's enough fan support for that sort of thing, we would talk about it for sure. Because I mean, some of the morphers in the last couple years have been really kick-ass looking. And even if we've done a little bit of a special something on a current morpher like Super Mega Force, we did the gold version, or even just a gold trim version, people loved that. Because it was a little bit more premium than the regular toy version and made it more collectible. If that's a good experiment right there, and you guys go, oh, whenever you see whatever the Ninja Steel morpher end is looking like, or if you love the Dino Charge morpher, that'd be interesting. I would be open to that, and the team would be definitely open to hearing about that. So if you like it, say it out loud. So now that we've got Legacy pretty well up and running, because I feel like the last time we had Morphicon, we were maybe just about a year or so into Legacy as kind of like an actual legitimate collector's segment. And thanks to your guys' support, it's fully legitimate now, 2 years later. So it's been a very short but fruitful journey so far. I think we're totally open to ideas of how to keep expanding that and almost enter like what we call like a phase 2 and a phase 3 of our big collectible program. Having the Legacy figures debut just a couple weeks ago is a big component of that, and also we think there's an opportunity there to interact with fans even more than we have been at conventions and even more than we have been on the online and social media channels to create more of like a voice and presence. So I think as we get into phase 2 and phase 3 of what we're doing, I think it's an absolutely legitimate idea to create some sort of established community, a nation of Ranger fans who are all about Legacy stuff, and see what we can do there in a big concerted effort. I'm open to the idea. I know BotCon and Transformers had a bunch of years to kind of get that together slowly and organically, and so far we're all doing a good job of that together, so that might be a nice logical next step for us.
Yeah, because after a while, like once the Legacy line like figures come out and then they're discontinued, then they're kind of hard to find, so I figure if there's a collector's club and you kind of did something like on a pre-order basis, so that way you're not making too many and making enough. Kind of like what Mattel does with
right. Basically, super serve those who want them, but don't ruin it for people who already got them and don't want them devalued by there being now a whole ton of them out there again. Yeah, I get that. I used to collect comic books as a kid, and when they would do reprints, I would get very like covety of my original prints. I'm like, well, these are the real ones. You can have your reprint. I know there's a fan mentality when you've got a collectible and it's meaningful and it's rare, you don't want it to be oversaturated. But you're right, if it's a limited run and you just got into fandom in the last, say, year or two, and you're like, I wanted that product too, maybe there is a way to do that in a very measured, pulsed way that gets it into your hands if you want it, but doesn't degrade or devalue it to the people who went out there, worked hard for it, got in line at 6 a.m., etc. Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.